Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome everyone to that's sound check, just so you know. Right, so good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, everyone, wherever you live in the world and whenever are you watching today's live commentary coming from European Racing League Australian Grand Prix with Formula 1 action, as I said, from Melbourne Park, Sydney, Australia. And we're gonna have a lot of full 12-minute qualifying session and 29 laps of Australian Grand Prix to watch today, as I would like to introduce our grid in a few moments time. So if you want, you can write in the chat who do you think will win today's Grand Prix for round number 1 of European Racing League Elite Division from Formula 1. As we are getting real close to the start of today's action, we are a bit late, but that is due to real Formula 1 Bahrain Grand Prix qualifying session. And the beautiful track of Australia will be taking Formula 1 today once again, and it promises to be a really fascinating race with 29 laps ahead of us. There's a high chance it's going to be dry, but if we see some rain, it's going to be pretty interesting to see who comes out on top.
Shout out to Billy Munger, aka Billy Wiz. Hamilton will be looking to secure his 4th championship this season, but will be up against stiff competition.
So here we go on the track in Australia with Mercedes pit box right in front of us, and it looks like that someone is already coming on track. And I believe the sound is coming from the Red Bull garage, and that looks to be the both Red Bull drivers, T.S. Adams and Michael. Yep, both Red Bull Racing drivers are coming on track. But here are the lineups for this season. In Mercedes, it's going to be Max Sternberg and Lewis Welch taking up the Silver Arrows. Scuderia Ferrari, the legendary Formula 1 team, Ben Coles and Paris Charles. And Red Bull Racing, as we already mentioned, Michael Romanidis and Shane Odiemi. IRT, Michael F1 and T.S. Adams, that will be. Then we have Williams Martini Racing, Zaid Babavi and Tony Kirkpatrick. I still can't pronounce his last name. Sakara Force India, Francis McGinn and Olive Flavel will be lining up in the Pink Panther team. Scuderia Rosso Pinters and Michael Ruiz. The yellow and black car, Jane Laxon and Hayden Toot will be taking on the Renault Sport Formula 1 team. 2016 debuters, it will be Haas F1 with Alex Bastos and Harrison Hurry. With McLaren and their Honda powered car, it will be Lewin Hooks and Leon Schneider. With Zauber F1, Richard Casilla and Eric Cohagen, to run up the grid. As we have cars weaving around the track to get prepared for their lap, and I believe that Atskayu has already started his lap, or looks like that he invalidated himself. Here is the Pink Panther of Olive Flavel on track on an out lap just now. There's people just getting ready for their laps, as we can see. KB Killer Zone. There we go. Ran the final band to start his lap in the McLaren Honda. And KB starts his lap through turn 1. Really clean, smooth on the 4 on the exit, clip in turn 2. Opens his DRS flat open. Making his way into turn 3. Easy place to lock up, but takes it pretty nicely. Goes about the curb, which you want on the exit. Smooth in 4th. A bit wide though through the exit of turn 4, and that looks to be invalid. Yes, it is, as he backs out of the lap. Well, maybe not even invalid, most likely to be just traffic that was the trouble right ahead of him. Adams in the Red Bull Racing goes pole position, provisional pole position with a 21.8. So really fast up from the Red Bull driver. What? Michael even faster, 21.2, pushing his teammate back by 6 tenths of a second. But look like Kitu in a Toro Rosso goes provisional front row alongside the Red Bull driver of Michael, and that is a 21.5. So 3 tenths faster than Red Bull number 2 driver. But we'll have to see, the time will tell exactly. But currently the Toro Rosso is slower on his lap. We'll go on board with Oli as he goes a bit wide on the exit of the final corner, but up to the line. What it will be a 26 flat. So not showing his initial pace yet. Richard Casella on the lap. 9 seconds improvement on his time, so definitely it wasn't an invalid lap time. Really smooth through the fast S section. What can he make out of it? He has a bit of traffic ahead of him. There's a Haas car, I believe that is, right ahead of him. Can't tell exactly, but looked like a Haas driver as he pulls into the pits. For the final corner, the Zauber car will go. Opens the DRS, flat open, up to the line. It'll be a 21.3, second place, front row of the grid for the Zauber. Phenomenal lap in the Zauber, and that is P2. As KB Killer Zone pulls into the pits, and we'll have first round of qualifying runs done and dusted, as cars are getting ready for the second round, in fact. So some cars are out on track now. We only have 12 runners this race, unfortunately, but sure thing next week will be much more. So really close between second and third, only 21 hundredths of a second. So extremely close between the two drivers, really. So we're gonna look to see how well and how close they will be at the end of the qualifying session today, as I have just over 5.5 minutes now on the clock of this qualifying session. A lot of cars are in the pits. Calic, Rest and IRT Falcon coming on track for their out laps. Will we see? What will they prove today? A Renault and a Mercedes. And the Red Bull of Michael is about to start his flying lap with just under 3.5 minutes of the qualifying session remaining. Real smooth for turn 1, open the DRS, making his way into turn 3. Lock up on the front right, but smooth and clean so far through his lap. Will he be able to secure pole position? 26.8 currently on his first sector time. Let's have a look how that compares to his best, and that is in fact just a bit faster. So 26.820 is just a bit faster, but what can he prove in second sector? That is the main question. Oh, and that's loss of traction, but what a save from the Red Bull driver. That has to be a close call one. Really close call from the Red Bull, just saving the car on the exit. And yep, he is going to back off his lap, letting the Williams driver through. But what a save that was. Falcon and Mercedes 21 flat, making the grid split up by 2.5 tenths from first to second. I'm sure we're yet to see a fast lap from people like Michael, Ash, Odems himself, possibly the McLaren of KB as well. So I'm really thinking, well, never mind, you can scrap KB and Odems both out, as they, oh, that's a heavy crash. That's a heavy impact on the Red Bull. Broken suspension on the front left, so yeah, not looking good, not looking good for him. As Michael is 1.5 tenths up on his first sector time. Will he improve in sector 2? Yes, he will. 1.5 tenths once again. Just over, ooh, cut the corner a tiny bit, but don't think it will invalidate his lap time, as he is going full out attack on his lap. Into sector 3 now. And ran out of fuel. That's qualifying over for him. So unfortunate. he was looking good on his lap. He was looking really good. But unfortunately, the fuel betrays him. But we'll stay on board with the Haas, as the Toro also just parks up at the side to let him through. So fairly decent. Way to get rid of traffic. 27 flat from the Haas in P9. Bzalan, P4. This is the lap we're waiting for, as Ash or Richard Casilla is currently on his lap in his Zauber. So he's just 3/10, just under 4/10 slower. I was saying that, and there we go. He's improving by just under 4/10. So looks like that this man is looking solid for a pole position today. But will he secure it? Will he secure the pole position to deny IRT Falcon and IRT Michael from being on the front row as drops of rain are coming down to the track? Out the final corner, opens the DRS up towards the line. And oh nope. Looks like it was on the wild lap time. But it was a 21.3. So maybe he just didn't improve on his lap time. So Lakitu looks like he lost it out of turn 10, that was. Really odd crash that was, I must admit. But frustration in the chat from the Rosso driver really says it a lot. He looked to be improving on IRT Falcon, who's gonna be lining up on pole position. And oh my goodness me, House of Haribo pulls a lap to go second. So front row lockout for IRT Falcon and Haribo 13.34. What a lap. That came out of nowhere, being nearly a second down throughout the entire lap, basically just managing to sneak through into P2. So the grid will look like this. IRT Falcon and Haribo will be locking out the front row, with Michael and Lakitu starting 3rd and 4th. Bzahan, Hun and Ash Bass starting 5th and 6th to lock out the 3rd row. T.S. Adams and Atkayu 7th and 8th. Olive Flavel will be rounding up the top 10 with Mazais. And Calicris and KB Killerzone will have free tire choice for today's Grand Prix. So it looks to be interesting to see how really KB and Kalik will use free tire choice, really. Will be interesting to see. Will be quite interesting. As the countdown has started, and we will we will see cars making 29 laps in just under 10 seconds. So there we go. 5 red light. Oh no, that's formation lap. Never mind. I done this again. And Totems just decides to... Is he thinking this is the race already? Pincer Dallin has been disqualified from the formation lap, so he will be starting on cold tires today. Probably something he doesn't want to have at the start of the Grand Prix. So from qualifying session, it looked like the man to watch for this race, but knowing the past of this driver, he's always been quick over one lap. Will he be able to prove him? We'll have to see. We will see. As cars are lining up. So here we go, five red lights on the gantry. Lights go out and the season has started with IRC Falcon defending really aggressively into turn 1, making his way, making some contact, goes off wide and looks to be spinning out a bit but saves the car, drops down to P4 as IRT Michael is now into P1 and Falcon goes up the inside of Lakitu and looks to go around the outside of turn 4 and gets him with stick. So really a bit of a hectic start for Falcon as he did go wide into turn 1, going on the gravel, then nearly spinning out, and Ash Bass has front wing damage. The driver from Zauber who looked really good in qualifying has now got front wing damage and is most likely to bring back to the pits for repairment, as Odems is going to try and thread Lakitu for P4 as Michael is now going to try and increase his gap to Haribo in the Haas. Will he be able to extend his lead though? That is the main question today. Richard looks to be continuing on to, as it says at this point of rate, and KB Killer Zone just doesn't have enough straight line speed as Ash is now pulling away from him. As looks like that Odems did have a little look up the inside of Lakitu, but obviously he didn't go for it. Haribo is now closing in on Michael for the race lead. How much is he going to be able to close in this lap? DRS will be activated lap 3, but it won't be activated till actually end of lap, basically near the start of lap 4, as DRS detection is in sector 3. Less than 3/10 now the gap is. And there it is, DRS detection is just there. So it won't be activated till next lap, DRS for any of the drivers actually. As Mazai's locking up into penultimate corner as Bzalan is looking to find himself a way to get past Adkau. As Ash is into the pits for Super Soft, that looks like. Yep, red wall tires go on to the Zauber, and after being P6 on the grid and looking at the top, the third row, he found himself in a big challenge to get through, as he has now lost 6 places and now is more than 20 seconds behind P11. So just over 24 seconds now the gap is then. As Adkau makes a mistake by going on the gravel trap at tiny bit on the exit, but left side of his car. But again, nothing too major. Look to make himself go a bit slower as he does it again. But it's just minor impact on his performance, as now Adams is going to try and find his way through for P4. Oh god. TS Odom stays behind for P5 just now, as the battle for P4 is definitely on. Maizai is locking up nearly into every corner. We saw double lock up into nearly what I would call it a 90-degree corner, but he stays out of trouble as once again the lockup comes in for him, and he is staying behind Zan for this moment of time. But how long will that continue for though? Because the tires will start to go off, and maybe his front tires are already starting to show some wear performance impact, which could possibly lead to a major mistake. In the meantime, Adams just 2 tenths behind, looks to go for the move up the inside but pulls it back, so trying to fake his opponent to catch him out and sneak for that P4, as now he gets amazing traction, but still staying behind, just waiting for that mistake from the younger Red Bull team, just waiting for that mistake. As Haribo receives his 3-second time penalty. So that will not help him in any way. Oh, IRT Falcon left. So that will be lost legacy for P3 for him. And there we go, Lakitu is into P3 as we just missed a move from KB Killer Zone on Olive Lavel. So let's stay on board here once again. Olive with Slipstream, will he try up the inside? Nope, he will stay behind of the McLaren driver as yep, everyone's just gonna get past Falcon's AI car now. Aha, so there we go. Lakitu is now pulling away from Odems with Odems fuel saving. Well, not really fuel saving, but Lakitu using more fuel down longer straights. As Ole is in a wall. That's right after the S section, so exactly where I believe it was Lakitu as well, he lost it in qualifying. So same place it happened. And Ash is now trying his hardest to actually catch up, as Falcon's race just went absolute downhill. Adam's catching the back up now. And Ashbass promotes himself into P11 as Oli had to pit for front wing change. He might as well just put softs on, but it looks like they were super softs. So red wall tire went on the Force India car, which I think he has one more stop to make. So one more stop for the Force India driver, as Adams really nearly side by side with Lakitu, and up the inside he will go, up the inside. Adams goes a bit wide, letting Lakitu back through, and now Atsukayu is going to try up the inside. Weird side pod contact between the two drivers, but no crashing or anything. Oh, and Atsukayu having sideway moment as losing the back end through final corner. I'm a bit speechless of what was just happening. The fact that Lakitu just had such a poor exit out of fast left right, and Adams just taking full advantage of it to himself, but not getting the move stick as he outbroke himself into turn 12. So Adams will try and get himself back into the battle for P3. As Haribo receives another time penalty. So 6 seconds now dies for the driver as okay, Ollie gets one. Atsukayu once again losing the back end, so he's really shaky on the back end, and Mazais could take advantage. He can take advantage if he just gets close enough. But this is the man he will have to watch out for as IRT Michael goes into the pits. So lap 9, he is going to take softs most likely. Yep, soft tires. 20 laps to go to make his way to the end of the race. 21 laps in fact, sorry. And he will rejoin about P9 as we're on board here. Adams fakes it to the outside, moves to the inside, and is going to squeeze Lakitu out side by side for turn 4, but it's Adams who comes out on top to promote himself into P2 ahead of Torosso. And Mazais is now going to be fighting for P5. Going into turn 7, and there it goes. There's the move. Turn 7. Mazais just absolutely outdone at Caillou. And now the Williams is going to thread Lakitu, so the man who looks really, really promising this race. And there goes Adams and the Torosso driver. I think I said his name so many times throughout this race now, as Kalik is in P3. Askalik, starting from P11 I believe it was, is now... Oh! KB is out. Front wing damage, and looks like that he just then I think he just kind of gave up, in all fairness, as Ash is now back up into P6. So initially where he started, he's now back into that position, but he is yet to make one stop. He has yet to make one stop. But I believe same with like people, Adams, that Kai will go to the end. All is yet to make another stop. Haribo is into the pits on lap 10. And that is soft tires. IRT Michael now is going to be in provisional lead of the race, as Kalik is yet to make a stop. Here goes IRT Michael, maybe up the inside, he will go for it, he is going for it, double lock up on the front tires, going to make it side by side with the Renault driver. And on the outside, Michael gets the lead back. The lead is now back to the Red Bull. And Adam so very late. Excuse me. Very late very late move down the inside of Ash Best, which demotes him 2 places in one corner. So real aggressive from Adams, but he got the move done. I don't think Ash has any damage, as Akai just goes completely into the gravel trap, letting his teammate back through, and Zalan is now going to make his way closely to the Zabur. All Flavor receives another 3-second time penalty, as now Zalan is making his way towards Atkau to go basically go and try to get his way past Zauber number 2 driver to promote himself into P8 and then chase down Richard Casilla. And actually, I'm starting to wonder, could there be a better strategy for Ash? Despite the fact he put it on lap 2, I think he can make... oh, oops. I think he can make up the double super soft. I think he can make it to the end if he has one more stop to make, and he'll go on super soft. He should be able to make them last till the end of the race. As like you, who's the fast lap of the race at 24.5. So sets the pace nice and clean. In a DRS range of a cow into turn 3 and 4 to go. Offer. Zal makes some crucial mistake, and now he's going to fall a bit behind the 2 Zauber cars that are just ahead of him. So it looks like that Akau is actually closing in on his teammate and basically pushing Zalan with him. So we may see a freeway bow real soon, as Kalik now gets overtaken by Haribo. We completely missed that, unfortunately. But TS Udems is now going to be closing in. DRS will be activated for Kalik, but I don't think it will do much, as The tires do show major sign of wear. What is going on? Haribo leaves the session. Akao is now behind his teammate, so Ash's tire is definitely going off the cliff, as now he basically let his teammate catch back up, and Zalan is now making his way as well. So we'll see a freeway battle for... Yeah, freeway battle for P7, as Akao will now try to get past his own teammate. A teammate battle, soft versus super soft. Ash locks up, tire banging between the two teammates, but up the inside, Akao goes. Ash will hold it around the outside. Oh my goodness me! That caught out Bzan by an absolute tree, and now he ended up in the wall. Oh, that caught out Bzan so much. Must have. And now Akao is into P. Bzan leaves the session, and that eliminates us to 9 drivers, I believe. Double lockup from Mazais on soft. Adams is still on super soft, and he is yet to make another stop. So, making out of that, if we think about this, Lakitu, Mazais, and Akao will all be promoted one position as Odom Dams, and Kalik are yet to stop once again. And there it goes, Ash is into the pits. Think it's just a casual stop, no front wing changed on Zauber. All the Flavel goes past. And we've not seen this man for a while now. IRT Michael F1. He has been late in the race from turn 3. He qualified in P3. Falcon and Haribo made a mistake into turn 1. Well, sorry. Falcon made a mistake into turn 1, went wide, which promoted Haribo and into P1 and Michael into P2. And Michael into turn 3 got a move done for the lead of the race, and now the nearly 15 seconds gap it is to P2. So just shows how much that Red Bull has the pace for. And I doubt it's the full potential still. I doubt it's full potential of it. I think the Red Bull can still push a lot more than we can see so far in this race. Obviously Australia being a short track, so really, Red Bull do have advantage, some sort of, over the other cars. As the battle for P3 is now on, basically, as Odems has got up to Lakiu, but he got past Mazais. Four tenths, last 5 tenths now, the gap between the two drivers. Haribo is now getting demoted, and Ash is the one, and Kalik is into the pits. So there it is, Kalik is into the pits. I wonder what tires that will be, he will be going on. Most likely will be Ultra Soft, but will his Ultra Soft last him 11 laps? That's the biggest question, as Udems is going to stay behind and stick for P3 just now, as he is yet to pit once again. I don't think you can take super soft tires like 21 laps. That'll be some crazy stuff, as like he is under massive pressure from second Red Bull car, but he is still staying ahead. 20 seconds is the gap from second to first. Michael has got himself into a 20-second lead, so he can afford himself to pit once again if he wants to for ultra soft tires that will make him go to the end of the race. So crazy pace is set by Michael. Adams is closing in, but he will stay behind as it was greater than 2 tenths. And he thought, you know what, it doesn't work for it, I'll just stay behind and wait for it. There he goes up the inside. Well, lucky to get the switch back. Adams. Ash has now got himself past Olive Flava. Looks like it was into turn 1. But Olive will try once again up the inside. Ash will keep himself in position. Mazais is getting close to Lakiu. So battle for P2 basically, as I do think Adams is yet to pit. I think he is yet to pit for Ultra Soft. But if he gets those tires 20 laps, or 21 laps, I'll be so surprised. Because that's how long he can take the softs, but I don't think he can take super soft that long unless he got some mental tire saving. But here he goes, Mazais will stay behind once again. Enter turn 1, 2 and 2. Second DRS has been opened. Mazais will try around the outside. Enter turn 3. Double lockup from the Williams. Really close to the gearbox from the Toro Rosso. So he needs to watch out for that front wing not to clip the rear end of the Red Bull sister team. As Adams is now starting to increase the gap. He's starting to increase the gap to third. It's over a second now, so Lakiu is officially out of the DRS range. He's out of the DRS range. Mazais is right on the gearbox though. He is still looking to try and get his way past onto the podiums. Can we see Mazais do it this time round? Going to lap 21 for them. Into turn 1, he stays behind. We'll have the second DRS coming now. He will try around the outside. He's going for it. He's going for it. Will he try around the outside? Looks like that there's minor contact on the wheels between the two drivers, but Lakiu stays ahead, just leaving Mazais enough gap to stay on the track. And Lakiu just showing brilliant defending so far this race. Obviously he's not been able to hold off others, but it doesn't matter. The way he's defending from Mazais is absolutely incredible, as Mazais is now going to have another round of attack to try and get that podium. He definitely wants it. He wants that podium to himself. Into the beautiful helicopter camera, we'll see here Lakiu once again slow through that left right section. Once again really slow down there, but there it goes, there it goes. Maybe up the inside. No, he won't, so he stays behind for turn 13. DRS flat open for the Williams. Into turn 1. He looks much closer this time around, but he will stay behind. So once again, he's just waiting for the mistake from Lakiu, or maybe he will try and just really go for it at one point. Round outside once again, Lakiu just leaving him just enough space. Round the outside, and Mazais is gonna stay for P4. So Lakiu just giving him no room basically. Making their way to lap 23 in sector 3. Mazais is getting once again. He is trying to find himself way past to get himself on the final podium position, but he's not going for it yet. He just doesn't have the momentum for it. He just doesn't have enough moment to get to it. Double DRS once again, no working for the Williams. So definitely the lead mix. He has more fuel though. Olive Flavel is now retired from the race. It's the same section as in qualifying. So Olive Flavel once again losing it in the same place. This place is just cursed for him. It's just absolute nightmare for the Force India. Once again, Mazais bear run through left-right section. Will he be able? Lakiu covers the inside. Mazais goes to the outside, but stays behind. Is gonna go to lap 24 with 5 laps until checkered flag for penultimate corner into final. Really fast, really technical third sector. Really, that is. DRS once again open for the Williams. He is looking for it. Can't find the way through. He cannot find the way through. But he looks like right side by side with the Toro Rosso driver once again. Side by side into the entry of the corner. Now on the inside. Mazais is now on the inside and gets the move done past Lakiu for P3. as Lakir receives front wing damage, I believe, from that. So obviously from the contact it looks like that the Toro received significant front wing damage on the side part. So there we go. Mazais will now try and get close to Adams, whose tires must be going off. There's no way he's gonna get those tires 20 laps into the race. The gap is increasing in 3.8 to second place. Now, does Mazais have enough laps to close into Odems? Does he have enough laps? Lakio receives a 3-second time penalty. .7, so Adams is really managing the gap. So looks like there'll be a Red Bull 1-2, unless something crazy happens to Adams. Don't really see it happening, but anything can happen in motorsport, especially in racing. And there goes Michael into the pits. Yeah, he just wants to go for the fast lap now. He has the gap. He has the gap to go for it. He just has all the gap in the world to do that. So there we go, Adams is just behind, down that straight. Mazais is closing closely in. So, not significantly, but closely and surely. But the biggest problem is he doesn't have enough laps, I think. Unless Adams has penalties. Ooh. This could get really interesting. This can get really interesting. So looks like that at the moment, unless something happens like extremely unbelievable, Mazais is looking to get P2. Adcow is now closing in as we have just under 2 laps remaining in this race. Under 2 laps. Adcow receives a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but the gap is closing down. The gap is closing in. Eight tenths. So it looks like Delaque is having major issues with either his tires or the fuel. And there we go, IRT Michael, fast lap of the race, 21.8. So the gap was, what was it, like 5.5 seconds, now it's 9.5, so 4 seconds again within 1 lap, crazy pace. And around the outside, a cow tried it, and looks like to be on the switch back around the outside of turn 4. Doesn't seem to get it though, as we're on the final lap. So this is on the final lap for P4. Who can win on track? Adcow loses the back end, tank slip from the Zauber. He looks to go for, he's trying to find a way through. He is really going for it. But there we go, Michael across the final corner, and he is going to win the first race of the season in Australia, as we're still looking here. Adcow and Laque into the final corner. Adcow will stay behind. Laque will keep P4. Unless he runs out of fuel. But there we go, we win, and that is it. So Adams has been demoted due to penalties. And Michael wins. Michael wins the race. So congratulations to Michael on the win in the season opening race. The Greek driver showed absolute class of driving today and managed to take the win. And there we go, race results are on your screens. Michael, after starting P3, manages to finish on top, 14.1 seconds. Ahead of Mazda and Williams, who managed to get himself 8 places up from his initial grid slot, 10th to 8th. Yeah, saw them to round out top 3. Red Bull 1-3, so amazing result for the Red Bull team today. Laque P4 with Kalik promoted P6 positions from his initial grid slot. So that is P11 to... Never mind. Ash Best to finish in P6 with a good recovery drive at Cow to finish P7. after penalties, got him demoted as, oh my goodness me, 5 tenths was the gap between the two drivers. So just got there in the end. Ash to finish P6, but he's done it. He's really done it. So let's invite the podium finishers to the interviews. Well, first Adams would be a good idea. There we go. Hello? Yep. Make sure your power settings are always shared so people can hear you. Yeah, I did. I did. Oh, get lost discover, please. Like honestly, been bugging me the entire race. Discover. You know, on PSN, like Discover.
No. Well.
When you like just created an account or logged into one, at least the tutorial thing. Right. Yeah, that. Where are the other two?
Not sure. Oh, we can start anyway. I'm
Yep.
waiting.
People tell congratulating you on your win today. So yeah, congratulations on your win today. First race of the season. Tell us how they go.
Yeah, I mean, it was easier than I expected. From the start, got a bit lucky with Falcon and Haribo colliding in the first corner, so I took the lead around the outside and I stayed there pretty much the whole race. But yeah, it wasn't exactly how we expected it to go and not how we wanted it to go, although we won, because it's not great to see all your competitors lag out due to like a game glitch or whatever whatever the fault is. But I think in the next race, if it's more stable and the connection is more stable as well to the host, I think we can have a way better show.
Okay, so Adams getting P3, really strong points for the team. Obviously, you and Adams having that Red Bull lineup. Do you think you can build on that success further on into the season, or do you think anyone is looking strong at this point of rate to challenge you for drivers and you and Adams for constructors title?
Yeah, we both got off to a good start in Australia, but there are so many strong teams in F1, you cannot count out pretty much anyone. For example, Toro Rosso, Mercedes with Falcon and Louis. So yeah, I think across the season we'll see who's the quickest, but as long as me and Odoms stay strong up the top and he keeps it consistent, I keep it consistent up the top, then I think there's no reason not to be up there in the constructors. Yeah.
Fair point, yep. I was gonna ask you something, but it just popped on my head.
Go ahead.
That's what I mean. I can't remember it. It's popped out of my head.
Oh, great.
Yep. Just when you need, like.
Okay, Odoms cannot join the party, by the way. I think it's just me.
Yep, I can't remember it. I just can't.
Well, great.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it then. How was the racing? Was it good in the midfield?
It was okay. Adams was quite laggy. Other than that, it was alright. But yeah, guys, we're gonna round off here today. I probably should have ended the stream like before you asked that, didn't I? But anyway, guys, thanks everyone for tuning in today, and we'll see you next week. Same place, 5 PM for F1 live action. And until then, it's a goodbye, and have a good night. Goodbye, everyone.